Testing, testing. Hello everybody, I have a new microphone, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. It might be very bad quality, it might be a little better, it might just be different from the microphone I usually use. I can always switch back to that microphone if enough people, complain about it. And what we're going to do today, or tonight, or for the next couple hours, is we're going to talk about democracy, how it's a total sham, it's a joke, it's a circus show, and that's really it. That's the one topic that I'd like to discuss. It's a very obvious thing. I don't think anybody's going to disagree. I think everybody here is probably going to have a similar idea, and I don't even think it's a partisan issue. I think anybody really can kind of understand why American democracy in specific it's just a total joke. It's just a total joke. We'll talk a little bit about Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard because I want to use these stupid Democratic debates as a sort of focal point onto why American democracy in specific is just total bogus. It's just a complete distraction. So let's just go right into that. Gabbard and Yang are the two Democrat nonconformists, but you can't even really call them nonconformists. Gabbard is just anti-war, and Yang wants to give everybody $1,000. That's it. That is the only difference between them and all the other Democratic candidates. You see, Yang, wants to give health care to illegals, etc., etc. All of them do. All of them do. The political parties in America, the Republicans and the Democrats, it's just a tool to ensure each side, each camp, supports certain things, right? It is just a part of the social engineering, right? It's a part of swaying people this way and swaying people that way. That is why you get the constant, oh, Republican president, oh, Democrat president, oh, Republican House, oh, Democrat House. It just switches back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's a total distraction. It's a total circus show, okay? Trump got elected. What can the guy do? Nothing. He can do nothing, okay? Because the party that he ran in, the Republicans, they're not Trump, okay? They do not hold the same values. They do not hold the same political positions as Trump. So if Yang or Gabbard was elected, what are they going to do? The Democratic Party does not hold the same views as them, right? The only thing that they will be able to do is forward the party's views, okay? What the party wants. That's why Trump has been nothing but an Israel shill, basically. He's just been, patting Netanyahu on the back and really, really, really helping Israel because that's all he can do. That's all he can do. He can't do any of the wall. He can't do anything involving, America and getting our jobs back and getting the economy together. He can't do that because the neocons don't care. You think Yang is going to get $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month to everybody? I don't think so. If he gets it, it's going to have to come with every other little checkbox of the Democratic Party. It's the same thing with the Republicans. It's just a total circus, man. Total circus. War of Rights, we're going to see that very soon. Here, I'll go ahead and I just need to get I don't want to hear the music. Let's turn the music off. There we go. Yeah, War of Rights is a great game. I decided, it's pretty. It doesn't require too much thinking, so I can actually talk about, something. In this case, democracy, a very big, general, vague topic. While I'm playing this game. So let me go ahead and turn that on. I've rigged up two monitors here so I can actually read the chat while in the game. So I'll go ahead. Oh yeah, I should have got rid of this a while ago. The stream has started. Let's get rid of that text and let's turn on the game capture. Make sure to share the stream around, by the way. Let's get some viewers in here. Because we're talking about big boy stuff, okay? We're talking about real big boy stuff, okay? But American democracy you're never going to have any sort of legitimate change with the American democratic system. Even in Europe, I don't think you can get real political change, because in Europe there's a bunch of parties, but they're forced to work in coalitions, right? In America, you're either a Republican or a Democrat, and if you're a nonconformist, like a heterodox Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. You still need to check all the boxes. You still need to support what the party supports. And the big dilemma for Americans is there's plenty of Americans, like me, like everybody in this chat, I hope, morally opposed to abortion, right? Morally opposed to abortion, rightfully attached to gun rights. You have to vote Republican. But what is the usual Republican candidate shield for? Free market, free market, free market. They don't even do so well in destroying abortion and protecting guns. What a lot of people are voting them in for, right? Which is the pro-life issue and the gun issue. So that's how the Republicans usually get into office. It's not their free market, trickle-down economics. No, people who vote Republican are voting due to social issues. They're voting due to guns. They're voting due to a moral opposition to abortion. There are plenty of people, like me, who will end up voting for these neocons, because who else are we supposed to vote for, or not voting at all? Because if we vote for some Democrat candidate, oh, sure, they have some economic reforms they might push, but those economic reforms are going to be slanted towards minority groups, which, that's a very controversial thing to say, but that is the reality. But still, at least it's economic reform. But they're going to be enabling abortion. They're going to be putting money towards abortion. If you're morally opposed to abortion, you can't stand for that. And they're going to be trying to disarm you. They're going to want to take away not my 45, actually. They like handguns for some reason, even though handguns are used for most gun crimes. They love handguns. But they'll want to take away my AK-74. They'll want to take away the ARs, etc. So you're put in a rock and a hard place. And if you want to have a movement that says we want to reform the economy, we want to get rid of this usury, we want to get rid of this quote-unquote free market, really just global, like international market, like, you know, big finance, right? If you want to get rid of that, if you want to take steps towards getting rid of stuff like big pharma, the university system, the usury university system, right, where you pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get an education that is worthless, fundamentally worthless, right? If you want to work against that, if you want to work towards change in that regard, you can't without giving up positions that you can't give up. You can't give up you can't trade in gun rights for that. You cannot trade the lives of the unborn for that. So there is a large portion, a large mass of Americans, I'd say, that want a third party. They want a different option, but they can't get it. It cannot happen at all. And what the democratic system in America does is it just gives you an option that seems a little anti-establishment, but once they get in power, they can't do anything because they're one congressman or they're just the president. Just the president sounds absurd. The man is the president. Or unfortunately, we're probably going to end up having a woman as president. But the man is the president. He should be able to do so many things. But no, he can't. He can't. Even with executive orders, even with all of that, if the Congress is against him, both the party that he's supposedly a part of and the party that is against him, what the hell is he supposed to do? So, you know, I'm not a big fan of Trump after seeing what he's done in office, but at the same time, I cannot blame him. What is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? The only way for an American president to get elected by the people and actually put in place their changes, their platform, their campaign promises, is to, I don't know, go in league with a general and take over the government with a military coup and get rid of Congress and get rid of all of the other branches and just have the executive branch, just have the president and the military. That would be the only way to do it. That'd be the only way to deliver on all the campaign promises, because our system is built. It is built and it is rigged to be this slow-moving machine. It is moving so slow, it cannot be controlled by the people, because the people can be more easily swayed. So it is just a tool of social engineering. It is a set of curtains for a shadow hegemony. I completely mispronounced that. But it is just a set of curtains for a shadow hierarchy. I would prefer a king or a prince that has all this pomp and ceremony and says, I am the king, I am the prince, I am your supreme leader. Right? And I can look at that guy and be like, yeah, that is the asshole in charge. Very cool. Instead of having to, dig through all of this nonsense to try and figure out who the real kings, the real princes are in a place like America, in the world, because they're hiding. They're hiding. They cannot be held accountable. You can hold a king accountable, but you cannot hold a shadow hierarch accountable. You cannot hold a financial power broker, a man who is rootless, right? Who's completely international, completely ruthless. You cannot hold him accountable. You can't even accuse him of being in control, because he's technically not in control. Technically, the democracy is. But really, are there even people in control? No, the system is just running amok. There are people in power, but nobody's in total control of the system. The system is just going to keep spiraling on, spiraling on, spiraling on. It is totally out of human control, at least by this point. A lot is really just up to the odds, up to chance. So history is going to be very interesting. Yeah, I agree, Francis. Democracy is much better on a small scale. But you cannot have democracy on a small scale anymore, really, because America is such a huge country, and all the countries are huge. And the bigger a democracy is, the more people who are voting, the less your vote matters, right? The less your vote counts. But really, even today, your vote does not matter. Even if you have 1 million votes to cast, it doesn't really matter, because you don't have a say in the system that has been set up. You cannot change the Democrats. You cannot change the Republicans. You cannot ever beat the gridlock. You cannot ever beat the sort of almost predetermined change, the direction that the nation's going to go into. Anyway, guys, now that I'm done stuttering and ranting about that, but I will continue, we're going to go ahead and hop into a War of Rights server, and I'm going to see how this streams and how it runs, okay? So this computer should be able to handle it, and I have streamed games before, but I'm just kind of worried about the picture, so make sure to tell me in the chat what the picture quality is. If you're getting any sort of buffering issues, any lag, I can adjust it, I can try and fix it. Because this is kind of an experimental stream. This will be yet another unlisted stream. I'm probably going to say too many controversial things to want to keep this up. Welcome, Zanzilar. If you think it's very interesting, invite your friends to tune in. Also, I forgot to turn on my desktop audio, so once I get into the game, I'll tab out and turn the desktop audio on. That way you guys can hear. War of Rights has really wonderful sound. It's a great piece of, I'm not going to say art, but War of Rights is like a game that you could have in a museum. It is so historically accurate. Now, of course, it only zooms in on one point of the Civil War, but it's just incredibly impressive, especially for an early access game. Now, is it the funnest game to play? By no means. Honestly, a lot of the cinematic qualities are impressive, but the Civil War mods for Mount & Blade Warband, Napoleonic Wars, still feel a little cozier, in my opinion. But that's just me. No Hearts of Iron, Brandon. And if I was playing Hearts of Iron, I would play Darkest Hour. I do not like Hearts of Iron 4. I'm not a big fan for a lot of reasons. Now, let's talk about the Civil War a little bit. Now, full disclosure, I'm a Yankee. I'm from Pennsylvania. My family has been here for a long time. When they weren't in Pennsylvania, they were in Connecticut, in the sort of New England area. Yeah, this is really, really good sound quality. Let me go ahead. Yeah, we might have some issues with the game running. I've never streamed or recorded this, so I don't know what it's going to be like. I have played the game, and it's ran fine. We'll go ahead and join the Yankees, because they're down a player. And I'm going to pick based on fairness. Yeah, this is running a lot worse than the last time I played, and I'm going to reckon that has to do with the fact that I'm streaming, which makes perfect sense. But the Civil War, it was a situation where, again, you cannot expect the federal government to appease every state, right? You have the northern resentment towards slavery, and you have the southern states, which do eventually want to get rid of slavery, or at least they would inevitably get rid of slavery, because it would not be cost-effective anymore. And the problem is that the federal government basically stepped on their toes with the election of Abraham Lincoln. Of course, before the Emancipation Proclamation, the Civil War was purely about keeping the Union together and not about freeing slaves. So, to say the Civil War was not about slavery is kind of naive, a little deceptive, but to say that it is 100% about slavery and that these Yankee soldiers in blue, I don't really like their uniforms compared to the Confederate uniforms. I prefer the ragtag look of the Confederates. They were not crusaders marching forward to, free the African slave in the South. By no means. I'm going to go ahead and mess with my video settings here. But it was certainly about slavery, especially to the more politically inflamed in America. That's kind of the idea I've gathered. But the Civil War is kind of the inevitable response of a situation where there's a federal government that is supposed to only really be confederating, or, well, federating states. And you could say that ever since the American Civil War's close, the federal government has just really broadened its power almost extraordinarily. And I think that's a bad thing. I don't agree with that. I live in Pennsylvania. A lot of the worst battles in the war happened here. But frankly, I do not see the outcome of a stronger American federal government as a good thing. Let's see, what can I turn off here that's going to make the game run better? Anti-aliasing down to FXAA. I don't know any of this stuff, guys, so I'm going to try my best. Post-processing, we can turn that down. That's just going to make the game not look so good. I'll turn all of this down to high. This is embarrassing, right? Yeah, I agree, Francis. 50-50 would probably be a good way of saying it. Alright. We're still around 20 FPS. This game is not very optimized. This is alright, though. I don't want to play at 21 FPS for the sake of the viewers. So let's try and change this again. But yeah, the Civil War is a very interesting conflict. It's one that we should look back on. And I'm just infuriated by these statues being torn down, and by this horrible situation where they're basically erasing history. They're erasing history to get at people who sympathize with the Confederacy. It's just absurd. It really is absurd. I don't understand how anybody could not see it as absurd. I'll turn that to that. We'll put physics at low. That is probably straining my CPU, and I don't have the best CPU. Object details we'll keep at high. I think maybe just by setting physics to low, our frame rate should increase. I'm trying to get to at least 30 because that's what this that's what this is going to run at. We want motion blur off for sure. We'll go ahead and put the shading at medium. That's probably going to lag the game a bit. I want to keep the smoke up, man. I will put it at medium, but I really like the smoke. This is a game about shooting guns that are very smoky, man. Very smoky. Object details, I want to keep it high. We'll put particles at medium. Alright. This is fine. Yeah, that didn't really affect my performance too much. This is an early access game. It's probably not going to run very well for you, but you don't need the best performance to be able to play it. You really just have to be able to stand in the line. That's all you've got to do is stand in the line. I've done reenacting, which is why I really like this game. I've reenacted at Gettysburg, and as you can see, we've been got. A young Dixie boy put a bullet right through our chest. Is Pennsylvania pretty good for the Second Amendment? Yes. Yes, it is, unless you live in Philadelphia. And soon, unless you live in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has very small city limits, though. The city limits do not expand into the real city proper, I'd say. I live in the city, but I don't live in the city limits, so nothing that the mayor is pushing against guns ever since the synagogue shooting, no surprise, is really going to apply to me. If you live in Philadelphia, though, you're not going to have any sort of luck. Philadelphia is a very anti-gun city. Now, the reason that rifles, owning shotguns, owning pistols is so important to the American experiment is this right here, okay? The Civil War is not the failure of American democracy. It is part of the system's early success. But now, the system is totally devoid of... It is unable to function. I was almost about to say devoid of merit. There's definitely some merit to it. Some, not a lot of merit, but there is merit. The American system is not able to function if the populace is not willing to fight and die over issues that cannot be solved by its incredibly ineffective, incredibly slow, bureaucratic system, right? With all of the checks and balances of the judicial branch and the legislative and the executive. So, this is what you need in the American system for it to function as planned. That is why you have the Second Amendment. The problem is that we're too busy doing things like this, playing video games and watching TV, and just wasting our time, basically, instead of actually having another American Revolution, and another American Revolution, and another one, until we don't have to have revolutions anymore. Okay, that is how things were set up. And sure, I don't know if the Founding Fathers agree with me, but that seems to be the modern interpretation of the American spirit. So I don't understand why I'm sitting here on a couch playing a video game when I should be part of some sort of ragtag militia helping overthrow this cursed, absolutely cursed government. And this is definitely going to be an unlisted video, right? And the reason I'm comfortable in saying these things, and I'm really sorry about the performance loss, I imagine it is because I'm streaming. Usually this game runs a little better, and it's also because it's an alpha. The reason I'm comfortable with saying this is that the federal government has no reason to worry about me. I cannot fulfill my desires of being part of some sort of second American Revolution because it's not going to happen. Everybody who talks about this stuff, they're never going to be able to participate in it because it's not going to happen. Things will never come to a push comes to shove situation. Oh, my gun wasn't loaded. Oops, I forgot you have to load the musket. When you spawn in, you have to load your musket, and that is why we were slain, boys. That's why we were slain. Would you move to a more pro-gun state if they started to restrict you? Absolutely, absolutely. Another thing is that people are waiting. They're waiting for the federal government to get more tyrannical before they, take up arms against the government. Listen, the government is not stupid. They are never going to force a situation that will create armed, violent dissidents, okay? The only way that you're going to see serious change, revolutionary change in America, if you're a right-winger or a left-winger, is if the country totally falls apart, totally collapses, and one of your political allies becomes a warlord. That is the only way. It's the only way. So, listen, I'm fine with saying these things, saying that, the American system is not functioning because people are not refreshing its tree with the blood of tyrants, because nobody's going to get up and actually refresh the tree with the blood of tyrants, and anybody with half a brain realizes that trying to do it alone is, pardon my French, and this is going to get the stream demonetized, retarded! It is retarded to try and take on a system like the American government by yourself. The only way would be to have an organized network, a real grassroots uprising. You're only going to get that if people are starving, if people are totally unemployed, if the situation is horrible. Horrible. Now, the American Revolution did not happen because the situation here was horrible, but it happened because it was a completely different culture. It was a frontier colony, alright? People are willing to go and fight and die when they're doing that every day against the elements. Nobody does that in America. Nobody except maybe Earn Your Way to the Top Survival, living out of his van, and a few other people. Nobody lives in a frontier mindset, okay? We're very safe and secure and comfortable in America, and we don't want to give that up. Are the Dixie Boys over there? Yeah, I see the battle flag over there. Let's go ahead and put some lead down there. Nobody's talking, by the way. Nobody's giving orders, or I would listen to their orders. That's what you're supposed to do in this game. And yes, democracy does rely on the false premise that the majority is correct. A vote is worthless, okay? A vote is completely worthless. War is a far more righteous way of determining who should rule, in my opinion, than democracy. Now, of course, I wouldn't say war is entirely righteous in determining who should rule. and who should be the in charge of the government, and who should determine the way a nation is going to go. Now, war, of course, does determine where the nation's going to go, just on the fact that if you win the war, if you beat out your opposition through violence, you don't have to worry about the opposition as much anymore. But I would, of course, argue that if it's not Catholic, it ain't right. Because this is a Catholic channel, folks. And if it's not Catholic, I cannot support it. So in my ideal situation, in my ideal future, there is a Catholic warlord who just, takes over and makes things right. That's the pipe dream. That is the pipe dream, because there's no political solution to the decadence in America, to the decay in America. There is no political solution, folks. The only way that you can hope for things to get better is if everything blows up. You have to hope for an economic recession, a depression worse than the Great Depression. A situation that forces people to try things differently and to create a power vacuum that can be filled by people who are not evil, that do not serve Satan, okay? The people who are running the system, and the people who established this system in the first place, are in many ways satanic, even if they don't want to act like they're satanic. Freemasonry is satanic, people. The deism of the Founding Fathers, that is not ordered towards Christ, okay? So, it's a bad situation, but never get so naive that you think democracy is going to produce anything for you, alright? The only reason to vote is to buy yourself some more time. And the only reason to vote is to vote when you have minor, regional, local solutions through democracy. The only time democracy will work, which is on a very small scale. Even then, for example, let me talk about how we see success against abortion in a lot of states. We're seeing success against abortion in a lot of these states, but the problem is that this success can be stomped out by a pro-abortion president. If a Democrat ends up in office, they're going to use executive measures to prevent these states from maintaining their anti-abortion, pro-life laws. So it doesn't even matter that we have these pro-life victories in these small states. If it is not backed up by victory on the federal scale, what can you do? What can you do? Ah, well, that guy's dead. I don't think this line is a good place to stay. I can't even see the enemy. I mean, there is smoke everywhere. And I should be listening to my superior officer. Oh, they're charging us. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Do we get him? Oh, no, we did not get him. All right. Let's whack us. Whack us some southern boys. Oh, we've killed him. The melee in this game is atrocious, in my opinion. Oh, I think we're about to get some friendly fire, and somehow the Union is victorious. Good for the Africans, but not very good for anybody who dislikes federal overreach in America's near future. Yeah, we might just get a situation like that, and I think the economy will get bad. I just don't think it will be the perfect situation for serious revolutionary change. I don't even think anybody will be able to worry about politics if it gets that bad. I think people will be worrying about putting food on the table. So we're not going to get a Spanish Civil War, we're just going to get war. We're just going to get chaos. That is the American future. Best scenario. The worst scenario is that there is no chaos, and we end up in this situation, this wonderful situation, right? Where we are plugged into virtual reality decadent stimuli pods, having awesome VR sex, VR porno, VR games, VR fantasy, and that's all we're doing. We're getting fed ration fuel. It is a willing matrix. It's a matrix that people are just entering with their full 100% consent. Those are the two odds, all right? Either the system explodes or we get full Antichrist society. Now, I'm of the opinion that the system will explode. We'll get this brief moment to maybe change things, but revelation is revelation, boys, and Antichrist society will come out of those ashes. And it will be terrible. It will be terrible. Unfortunately for the sci-fi nerds, and I do like science fiction, and I do like the idea of colonizing the stars, we're never going to have that. We're never going to have that. The world will end before that. Ask God after the world ends if you can have your own little sci-fi fantasy world, your own space opera. Ask God, because it's not going to happen in reality. We are staying on this beautiful, beautiful rock, but it's not going to be pretty once things fall apart. Anyway, we have the very nice fast-loading rifle, and I really like this map because what we're going to do is... Wait, is there anybody down there? I can't really tell. Anyway, once the Yankees show up in that forest, we're gonna give them hell! Woo! I have experience doing the rebel yell from reenacting. I reenacted as a Confederate, even though I'm a Yankee. So, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. I really do like this game. I agree, Chaser. It is always worth voting against things like abortion and voting for things like gun rights. That's all you can really vote for in America. So don't avoid the ballot box. Just realize that you're being forced between a rock and a hard place, and you have to choose the best of the worst options, which is that you're probably going to be supporting a free market shill, a neocon, who is not going to really do anything too good for the country, but at least he will support the attempts to get rid of abortion, or at least restrict and limit abortion. Anyway, we're going to go upstairs. I don't really have a good shot at the Yankees here. Everybody else is hogging these windows. I can take this one, though. I don't really have a good shot here either. Might have hit him. Might have hit him. Damn turncoat. Listen, I prefer the Confederate aesthetic. I'm not going to take sides in the Civil War. I don't think slavery is morally righteous, but I don't think that the federal overreach that we saw following the Civil War is a good thing for America. I prefer decentralization. I think the ideal empire is an empire like the Holy Roman Empire, where you do have an emperor and you do have a hierarchy, but that hierarchy is on top of smaller hierarchies. That is what I believe in, alright? I do not like imperialism that destroys, okay? Imperialism that crushes the will and the sovereignty of other smaller nations. This is even worse. I don't think we're going to kill any Yankees from this window. I'm not putting my bayonet on. I don't even think I get a bayonet with this rifle. I get a sword, because this is a lucky spawn. I actually really like this gun. It's incredibly fast loading. It uses a cartridge, for one. That's a good thing. Oh, there's a Yankee. Oi! Did I get him? We gotta wait for the smoke to clear. Ah, yeah, I got him! There's his corpse! Oi! I can really get into this game. We need more games like this, okay? I think the Civil War is probably one of the most interesting black powder conflicts, but I'd really like to see some other games in this setting. Ah, damn! We've been bagged! We've been bagged! Ah, that's disgusting, Frostbite. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Any argument that's pro-abortion is disgusting. If you ever argue in the service of abortion, you are guaranteeing yourself probably some serious time in purgatory. Alright? There's no way to argue for that. And I cannot even understand the rationale that you're coming from. Even though demographic change in America is a negative thing for everybody involved, demographic change in anywhere at all, is usually a negative thing, in my opinion. You cannot argue for abortion with anything, in my opinion. It is the murder of the unborn. Anybody who stands and argues for it, and is not going to immediately realize their error, well, let's just say, I don't really have words for them. I have something else for them, but I don't really have words. I don't really have words. I just don't understand how somebody could support something like abortion when it's so obvious that it is just an inhumane, immoral band-aid to an issue that can be solved in other ways. Let's take all of the money that we spend on abortion and let's spend it on Let's spend it on adoption. Let's spend it on ensuring that children that are born from teen pregnancies, born and just, their parents are not willing to raise them. Let's ensure that those children can have at least a decent shot at life. That's where all of our efforts should be going towards. They shouldn't be going towards establishing abortion clinics, training abortion doctors, and financing the whole thing. You can't even call those people doctors, in my opinion. They're basically paid hitmen. And some people, some people who are more materialistic, they're going to be agitated by this stance. I don't support eugenics. I don't support anything like that. I think supporting those types of policies, it's frankly disgusting, and it's completely unnecessary. Everything that eugenics people want can be achieved without the inhumanity and the immorality of eugenics. You can have natural quote-unquote eugenics by just having a society where people don't rush into pregnancy, for example, and instead value relationships and seek out marriage instead of baseless, empty pleasures like fornication, okay? You don't need to have the state step in. You don't need to have abortions. You don't need to have sterilizations. All of that's unnecessary. Oh, we got... Ah, well, I mean, I was charging right towards the Yankees. That was a pretty dumb death. Our morale loss has been reduced by 40% because I was skirmishing. Okay, cool. There are some people actually talking, which is good. There's some people who are trying to take leadership, trying to take charge. I'm not very good at that. I've tried it before, actually, but I'm not very good at it, at being an officer. I like the fact you get a revolver. You can usually kill a lot of people with the revolver, but I do not know how to lead people in line warfare, okay? At least on that on that small local scale level. I've been tabbed out of the game. Give me a second, boys. We're having some issues here. Ah, well, what is this? Alright, lads, it looks like War of Rights is not cooperating with me. The game has crashed. Now, I'm going to blame that on the fact that it is an alpha title. And War of Rights, very early access. I'm still very impressed with it. Hopefully they can iron everything out within the next few years, okay? I want to come out of the military and have that game be refined and nearly perfect. But I'm going to praise it, even though it just crashed on me. Beautiful game. Incredibly accurate models. The uniforms are great. The gunpowder, the smoke, it does feel very real. It's wonderful. If you have an interest in War of Rights and you have a computer that can tank it, do look into buying it. It is on sale because of the summer sale. It's a historical game, and you can tell that the people who are making it, and this is something that if you are pro-Union or pro-Confederate in the Civil War debate, calling it the War of Rights, I think that's appropriate. I think that is appropriate. That was a good choice on their part. They have caught flack for that. And I really want to stand by people who are going to ignore that type of hysteria. Right? Because it's a big thing in the reenactment community. There have been reenactments that are basically dead because of Antifa bomb threats, okay? And this is just because reenactors are historically accurate and they fly the battle flag, the Dixie battle flag, right? And they fly more than just the battle flag. They fly all of the flags, all of the Confederate flags that are accurate to the unit that they are providing an impression of, right? And I am surprised they even got to the World War II reenactors, because the World War II reenactors go around flying swastikas, right? And yet you're probably not going to find too many National Socialists or Fascists in a German reenactment group. You're probably just going to find your everyday American, what would you call them? A libertarian type, right? Not libertarian in the sense that they're like pro-gay or anything, but like libertarian in the proper American sense. They're not like total neocons. They're most American people are against war, for example, but they're they have this general distaste for authoritarianism. That's how I could describe them, just as American. Anyway, maybe I should play something else because War of Rights is giving us some issues, but I'm thinking of what I could play that would be appropriate, because most of the games I have installed on this computer after wiping the hard drive are, well, not historical games. I've been playing a lot of Warhammer games. I'll go ahead and see if War of Rights will not throw a wrench in my plans. I'll launch the game back up. Anyway, lads, yeah, this stream so far, I'm enjoying it. Very high energy. I've needed to sort of get my get my feelings and my thoughts out there somehow. That's why I like these streams. I really enjoy these streams for just being able to sit down and talk. And even if there's a bit of rambling and a bit of ranting, and it's not the most concise, and it's not the most academic, and I probably do embarrass myself with some of the mispronunciations, it is a very enjoyable thing to do. It's much more enjoyable than sitting down and writing scripts or editing a video. And there's that ability to have direct viewer engagement that is so, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see the server browser. We'll go back to player count, and we'll rejoin the Antietam server. There's usually only one full server, by the way. Do I watch America First? I'm not a big fan of Catboy Nick Fuentes. Not that I've really watched anything of his, but he just comes off as a little egotistical on Twitter. He's very block happy, and frankly, I mean, what can I get from Nick Fuentes that I can't get from myself and my friends and my sort of daily social and quote-unquote political interactions, right? I like the fact that Nick Fuentes calls his show America First. I do not like Nick Fuentes and his Catboy, his little Catboy obsession I've seen on my Twitter timeline, and I don't like how block happy he is on Twitter. But generally speaking, I think he's a lot more tolerable than some of the other right-wing e-celebs. But like most right-wing e-celebs, he definitely has some issues. The only right-wing e-celeb that I am absolutely 100% on board with is E. Michael Jones. Okay, E. Michael Jones is fantastic. He's great. He is extremely old, but he's wonderful. I've never heard something from E. Michael Jones that I have extremely disagreed with. Everything that he says, I can either see where he's coming from or I agree with him. So, big fan of E. Michael Jones. Very, very cool guy. He's respected for the right reasons. We're almost in. Who knows? It might run a little better now. Maybe some of the graphical settings don't apply until you restart the game. We're going to go ahead and join the... Well, we'll join the CSA. I do not want to be rushing that building. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, E. Michael Jones, if you haven't heard about E. Michael Jones, I don't know what you're doing. Anyway, guys, I've rambled and ranted about democracy and the American system and the American Civil War and the American Revolution and American democracy, America this, America that. What other topics would you like to discuss today, guys? Get some more people in here if you can. Throw some stuff in chat. Just because I'm playing a game doesn't mean I can see chat. I can't see chat, I mean. I can see chat. I have it on another monitor. That way I can look over and respond to people. That is something I should have done a long time ago. I'm actually house sitting for somebody right now, and at this house I had an old monitor, and because I have two monitors now, I can go ahead and both play a game and pay attention to the chat, something I could not do previously, which is why the other streams I'd only really play a game when I had guests on, because the guests were able to sort of interact with chat, and I was able to interact with chat via proxy. Now this is running a lot worse than it was last time. Let's see if things reset. I have a feeling that some of my video settings have reset. We're going to go ahead and turn the shading down to low, the shadows down to low, because I don't really care about shadows, people. I think it's the smoke, and also the amount of people that are playing. This game might be more CPU heavy, and currently I don't have a very good CPU. But come on, guys, let's see some things in chat. I'm seeing nothing from chat, which is really unfortunate. I'm going to have to come up with something on my own, which I will do. I did watch the second Democratic debate. That is something I guess I can talk about. I was very infuriated by it. I'm also entertained because of how absurd it is. I've got him. Yeah, he's dead. Damn Yankee! Snuck up on us! Killed one of our poor southern boys. My family is technically Catholic, well, my mother's side, but I was never brought to church when I was growing up. I was only baptized. So I don't know if that counts. No idea if that counts. Technically, I'm not a convert, but in terms of, you know, practically I am a convert. I don't know how people can watch those like Democratic debates and not get angry. Whenever they start talking about abortion or guns specifically, I turn into a monkey. I turn into a total ape. I get very, very angry because it's just infuriating hearing these people, you know, say with such confidence, with no regard for other positions. You know, of course, I will talk like that too when I'm not being serious. But if I'm being serious, I will usually at least account and at least regard for other positions that are completely contrary to my belief system. It's just absurd thinking that a man who said that he would nuke the American people if they were to resist any of his, like, you know, his gun ban, that guy gets to stand in a debate. You know, he gets to talk to the entire country. Iconoclasm is very bad. Yes, I've heard of the iconoclasm heresy. Oh man, are these people in the game, or is this the sound effects? I think this is the sound effect. Because I've heard people do the rebel yell in game, but this is way too synchronized. That definitely has to be an effect. I mean, I've heard the Union go huzzah, 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 which is very boring compared to the rebel yell. I missed him. By the way, I'm going to be using this minimalistic, what would you call it? Overlay for more streams now. It's got a picture of good old King John Sobieski. One of these days, he needs to be canonized. I think not only was he a good king, he was a good man. He's very devoted to his religion, Catholicism, and he was very devoted to his wife. He did not marry his wife for political reasons, which is rare when you're talking about kings, when you're talking about people who are, you know, stuck dealing with feudal politics and the whole dynastic thing. I mean, he avoided marrying a woman that if he would have married this woman, he would have become king of Poland a lot earlier than he did, because Poland was an elective monarchy. Let's not forget that. But John Sobieski, what I know of his life, I really think there should be a case for his canonization. I think he was definitely a righteous man. But yeah, all that's on the screen is a nice little, very, very subtle, very minimalistic overlay that gives you the bit.ly link if you want to donate. Because people will send... This guy wants us to unite across the river. Sure thing, man. Sure thing. Hell yeah, I'll go across the river. But the bit.ly link, the PayPal donation link, is there if you want to donate and not give money to Google. If you do a YouTube Super Chat donation, you're going to end up giving 40% of that money to Google. And I don't think most people want to give their money to Google. Knowing our audience, I don't think any of us are fans of Google. If I were you, I would not use Google Search. I'd use something like DuckDuckGo. I would not use Google Chrome. I use Opera. Use anything other than Google if you can. Now, obviously, we can't really get off of YouTube. We could go on BitChute. I probably will open a BitChute channel. Oh, man, I should have had him. I'm going to get him with Melee, though. Okay, he got him with Melee. He beat me to it. Well, I was either shot or that guy accidentally stabbed me. Or stabbed me on purpose, who knows. Probably an accident. The Melee system's so clunky. Come on, lads. There's 14 of you. Let's get some more questions. Let's get some more discussion, engagement in the chat. Come on. Come on, guys. 14 people are watching. That's nothing. That's peanuts, but it's something. I do appreciate it. It's nice. There's other streamers who get thousands of people. I don't even know how they keep up with it. Maybe one day we'll be there, but I doubt it. I'll probably get removed from YouTube before that happens. But yeah, do not support Google. Google... It is basically on the books now that they influence elections, they influence public opinion. Google is part of the social engineering, okay? Social engineering is a real thing. It is why democracy is a sham, okay? Democracy is a total sham because of the fact that with effective social engineering, effective propaganda, you can guarantee the vote is going to go one way or another. When you have the control of the political parties and control of most of the candidates through the political parties, you can further ensure that things are going to go your way in a democracy. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume up a little bit. That way you guys can hear what people are saying in the game. I'm going to try and pay a little more attention to what people are saying. Let me go into my options for audio. We had this issue last time we had options. What is the key binding for talking? N. Alright. Now I know how to communicate with people. I haven't played this game in a while. Trying to think of something, Brother HH? Hulk Hogan, man. I love Hulk Hogan. Probably the best wrestler there is, man. At least in my opinion. Enemy contacts due northwest. This guy is not talking like it is the 17th... Wait, no, the 19th century? Excuse me. I got the formula. I got the formula wrong. I really like this map. This is one of my favorite maps. Key binding for talking is N. But we can't say a word that starts with N in here. I do not want to get demonetized. Okay, look, I want my YouTube bucks. I don't make much, but I want my YouTube bucks. Alright, listen, I'm not gonna fire if I can't see the enemy. Can't blame me for that, okay? It's a video game, it's not real life. We'll find real bullets. This isn't a reenactment. These aren't blanks. When it comes to demographic change in America, the major issue is that demographic change creates general instability, thus it is not desirable for anybody. Oh, I can see where we're shooting. Feels good to be part of a volley, man. These guys are good. This officer, he knows what the hell he's doing. Ready, aim! Fire! And then everybody shoots almost in synchronization. The hell, the volley of lead, man, that would be crazy. The storm of steel shot going their direction, mini balls flying. If you're going to move to the USA, I would recommend moving where you can get work. Just stay away from New York and California and you'll be fine. Opinion on women's role in society. Oh no, we're going to talk about women again. I think we're firing at will now. Either that or I'm just joining the insubordinates. Women should not be in combat. Duh. Women should not be required to have careers. Men should be the ones required to have careers. Now, can a woman have a career? Sure, if she really wants to. But the problem is our modern economy now requires women to have careers. Even married women need to have careers to be able to support their families, which is disgusting. And it's just part of breaking the family unit, breaking it down so people are way more reliant on the state instead of relying on their local communities, their families, and their friends. That's what they want to do. They want to break down natural networking. Natural networking is where you can rely on your friends, you can rely on your family, you can rely on your neighbors. Oh man, imagine that, relying on your neighbors. They want to remove that so that you're totally relying on the state, and so that if things, you know, stop going your way, you don't have a network of people to go grab rifles and do something about it. The Anglican Church is totally illegitimate, so I'm not surprised they ordain women. I mean, when even Pope Francis says that women will never be ordained in the Catholic Church, you know that's that's never going to happen. Okay, there will never be female priests. It's just impossible. I don't think there should be female deacons either. There shouldn't be female altar boys. You know, altar boys are altar boys for a reason. We don't need altar girls. At the ready! Hell yeah. Again, democracy is pointless. It doesn't matter if we're going to win or lose in the elections. There's no way to win. Alright, if there was a way to win, or a way to get anything done, there would be a wall at the southern border right now, okay? Just voting for president isn't going to do anything. As Chaser brought up, though, if you can vote to save a life, aka vote against abortion, do it. But if you can't expect politicians to keep their promises. You can't expect even an anti-establishment outsider political candidate, even if they get to the highest office in the land, U.S. president, to be able to change anything. Trump has changed nothing, okay? He's changed very, very little. He's only really worsened the situation. Obama had reasonable immigration positions, right? And Joe Biden, Obama's vice president, now has the absurd, you know, open borders type of mindset that the rest of the Democratic Party has, right? So it's gotten to the point where people are just on one end of the spectrum when it comes to the immigration issue. And if Trump is unable to deport, unable to build the wall, unable to do anything about the immigration situation, he's just creating a political environment where the pro-open borders sort of mindset of the left is just being accelerated, right? They have a reason to accelerate because the media is working against tooth and nail. We got him. We're gonna get this guy. Oh, no, that's... Oh, shit. I got stabbed. Alright. We're going home, boys. We're going home. Retreat. Retreat, boys. Oh, man. I don't want to die. I want to go home to the plantation. Listen, we got in there. We killed one Yankee, okay? I killed a Yankee. You can't complain, alright? I'm not gonna die in combat if I don't have to die in combat. Oh no, we have some interesting questions in the chat. Remind me to unlist this stream. Remind me to unlist this live stream. I can't have any of these live streams stay up. I can't make any ad revenue off of the live streams. People watching them after they're up because I have to pull them down because people want to talk about women and they want to talk about all of this other controversial stuff that could very easily get the channel terminated. But that's fine. It's a live stream. It's not a video. It's only going to be seen by me, well, duh, and everybody who's watching it now. And anybody who gets the link afterwards and wants to share it. I don't have to worry about, you know, political enemies removing it. Anyway, obviously, I want economic reform that gets rid of usury, gets rid of global, you know, international capitalism, and I want a society with natural, healthy hierarchy, which means strong families, strong local communities, and every strong community and every strong family needs a leader. Alright? Men need to be kings of their households. Mayors need to be kings of their cities, of their towns. And whoever's at the top needs to be a righteous emperor. They need to be a righteous king. Alright? That is the system that I envision. That's very poetic. I can't really give you too many specifics. All I know is I hate usury, and I despise just how rotten the shadow oligarchy, the system we live in today, where you have this facade, this circus show of democracy, acting as curtains for a real ruling class, a shadow ruling class, which can't be held accountable and is full of despicable people of all certain different types of, I would say, occultic religions and beliefs. Eastern Crow, favorite Warhammer Legion. Does that mean race, or does that mean, like, specifically, like, a regiment, man? You're gonna have to get specific there. I do like Warhammer, though. Warhammer, I like it because I like fantasy that is not paused, right? There's no effort in Warhammer, at least from what I've seen, to make the evil guys good and the good guys evil. Or there probably is some pause somewhere. I either like it when a story, when a fictional universe is nuanced, meaning that neither side is portrayed as total evil, or where it is exaggerated and emphasized and there's clear good and clear evil. Crow, you gotta give me a specific. Do you mean raise, or do you mean like give me some specifics for that question, then I'll answer it. How do banks work without a system of interest? Teach me, please. Well, it works like this, friend. You go to the bank and you say, "Ah, man, I need a $1,000 loan," and they say, "Okay, sure," and they give you a $1,000 loan, and then I don't know, a couple of months or a year later, you pay them back. You pay them back $1,000. That's it. That's it. That is the perfect bank, okay? That's the perfect bank. No interest, no usury. Oh, I'm not big on 40k, Eastern Crow. I don't know too much about 40k, so I can't give you answers. I'm a Warhammer fantasy guy. But yes, it is true that unfortunately banks can't really be super successful without interest. So I think that the best way to get rid of usury is to limit usury. To prevent exploitative interest, maybe to enable interest not as something that profits off of working class normal people, but interest as a way to profit off of businesses and off of entrepreneurs who need capital. They need money to start a business, to start something productive. That way, it is completely reasonable for the bank, the lender, or, you know, this is how stocks work, right? People buy shares and then they profit if the business is successful. I just don't think that normal, everyday, working class people should be a source of profit for, like, credit card companies. Credit and loaning and interest that is just totally predatory and exploitative. The credit score in America, I just completely disagree with its existence. The credit score in America means that you need to go and give $100 to a company so you can get a $100 credit line. Why don't you just keep your $100? You know, so that you can do what? So that you can buy things with that credit line and then pay it off, so that you can prove to the credit companies that you're a good, you know, you pay on time. You pay your you're applicable for loans. You can actually buy a house. You know, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Your credit should be built up from paying bills. I pay an internet bill. I pay some bills. My credit is not influenced whatsoever by paying those bills. My credit is influenced by student loan debt, and that's it. Just having $2,000 in student loans. Now, of course, I don't understand all the specifics of this, and I'm not an economics nerd. I don't know how you could create a system to replace things. I just know that this system is rotten to the core, and there is definitely a solution to it. And there are solutions that are being proposed by all types of people that I think should be considered. That should be obvious, Crow. I'm stuck between Bretonnia and the Empire. I really like both of them. Opinions on Bitcoin. I don't really like crypto. I don't really like crypto. I'll be honest with you. Crypto is just a vehicle for people to make money. That's it. I don't really see crypto as anything revolutionary. Bitcoin was made so that people could buy drugs and child porn without leaving any trace behind when they make that purchase, right? Now it's used as a sort of get-rich-quick scheme by naive teenagers. That's my opinion on Bitcoin. I think it's a pretty decent opinion on Bitcoin too. When it comes to high-tech alternatives, wow, that kind of scared me. When it comes to high-tech alternatives to, you know, Bitcoin is an alternative to money. How about alternative to gun manufacturing? I think 3D printing of guns is beautiful. Great stuff. Really great stuff. 3D printing I'm very interested in. Not just for guns, but for other things. I don't think universities should cost an absurd amount of money. I don't think most university professors deserve the salary that they earn. That's my opinion. I don't think they deserve the money that they make. So I would completely destroy the present-day American academic university system, and I would start anew. If somebody, you know, if I was given charge of that, I would just completely build something new from the ground up. I think we have the same issue with American hospitals and American healthcare. People should be becoming doctors because they want to be doctors and they want to help people. They should not be becoming doctors because they want a six-figure salary, okay? I don't think doctors should not be paid well, but I think that there is a problem where people are getting into something like the healthcare industry because they feel like that is their only option to make good money. I think people should be able to make good money for whatever work that they're going to do, as long as it contributes to society. Right now we're in a situation where you can do honest work and you can be breaking your back and working more than 40 hours a week and you can be making peanuts, you can be making dog shit, because our economy is just busted. It's not ordered towards supporting working people. I think that's what the economy should be ordered towards. That's my opinion.
Hello?
Eastern Crow, that's bogus though. Transferring Bitcoin usually has very high. It's very costly to transfer Bitcoin, at least in my experience. Now, if there is a way to transfer Bitcoin without incurring large amounts of, you have to pay $3 every time you send a Bitcoin transaction, please tell me. Because in my experience, any sort of Bitcoin wallet, they're just absurd when it comes to skimming off the top whenever you receive or send Bitcoin. 17 people, welcome lads. We are playing War of Rights and talking about just about anything. Now, my rant and rambling about democracy, it has kind of ended, but it will surely come back. If there is something that I can talk about continuously and talk about in a very negative, very high energy, very angry fashion, it is democracy. Alright, let's get this Yankee. Oh, shit. They're hopping over. This is concealment, this isn't cover, but it will have to do. There would probably be unrest, but I don't think the unrest would be serious enough for there to be any sort of violent dissidents. That's my opinion on that. Texas becoming a Democratic voting state is just kind of inevitable if immigration isn't stopped. But I thought that all of the South Americans, all of the Mexicans, and all of the Guatemalans, and etc. were Catholic. Yeah, they're Catholic in the same sense that that the Irish that voted for abortion are Catholic. Okay, they're Catholic in name only. Oftentimes they're pagan. They mix their paganism with Catholicism. It's disgusting. So yeah, they're not any more Catholic than America. I'd say America has more honest Catholics than a lot of South America. And that is just proven by their voting record and proven by, some of their practices. Some of their practices are extremely pagan. Extremely. But still, even most American Catholics aren't really Catholic. They're not practicing whatsoever. And even if they are practicing, they don't hold beliefs that they need to hold. They're committing sins that they do not think are sins because of bad priests and bad catechism. Okay? That's kind of the situation with the Catholic Church. But yeah, Texas might even go blue here in 2020. That would be crazy, but I don't see it as far-fetched. That's kind of a reality that we're going to have to deal with. Texas is going to go blue. I just do not think that the Democrats, I don't think the left, and I don't think the shadow rulers, whatever you want to call them, the system itself is going to allow extreme things to be passed. By extreme, I mean anything that pushes, let's say us, to actually get off of our asses and do something about it. It's always going to be pushing for things that are gradual, slow change, right? Like indoctrinating each and every new generation into holding, just values that are contrary to both America and to moral truth, right? Indoctrinating new generations with, sexual immorality, with an opposition to firearms, etc. And they're just playing the long game, in my opinion. All of this polarization and all of this debate and all of this discourse and all of this argument, it's just a distraction. And democracy is, what it does is it gives you the false notion that you can actually do something about the political situation. In reality, you can't. You can't actually do something about the political situation. You're just being tricked into wasting your time. Your time would be better spent doing things that the system does not consider legal. But of course, there is no point in doing those things if you do not have a large mass movement doing them with you. So that's why you shouldn't recommend people to do illegal things, because they're going to be the only person doing it, and they're just going to make a fool of themselves, and they're not going to accomplish anything. Yeah, Santa Muerte is a really good example of quote-unquote Catholicism in Latin America. Yeah, no, if Texas becomes a blue voting state, and if, you know, the majority of right-wing voters in America, which are white Americans, become a minority, then you're probably just going to see the Republicans turn into a moderate left-wing party. And the Democrats will just be the far left, and it will just be the moderate left versus the far left. That's all that's going to happen. I mean, you already have conservatives that support things like gay marriage. I mean, think about it. When Obama and Hillary were running for office for the primaries, right? In like 2007 and 2008. Or it might have been, no, it wasn't earlier than that, it wasn't. But when they were running, they both opposed gay marriage. They would not give a solid answer, right? Or if they did, it was against gay marriage. Now everybody supports gay marriage. If you don't support gay marriage, you could get fired from your job. Yet, not even, well, yeah, more than 10 years now, but it's been like 10 or so years, and now gay marriage is a total social orthodoxy, alright? If you do not accept gay marriage, you're evil. You're the enemy. People hate you. Okay? People hate you to the point where they want you to be fired and unemployed and not have a source of income. It's disgusting. And that's not even an opposition to homosexuality. That's an opposition to the homosexuals being able to pervert a religious institution. Marriage. Marriage is a religious institution. So think about how fast things can change. Again, look at what Obama said about immigration and about how, you know, illegal immigration is unfair to legal immigrants. That's what Obama said. Obama! Okay, Obama, of all people. That's what he was saying when he was running for president. Now you'll be hard-pressed to find a Democrat candidate running for president that doesn't want to open the gates and let everybody in. And, you know, the whole separating parents bullshit, it's nonsense, okay? Kids are being separated from traffickers. What are you supposed to do when you have situations of people being apprehended at the border with children, and adults saying, oh yeah, I'm the kid's parent, and then the kid, 10-year-old kid, has 10 different types of semen in her? Are you supposed to trust that man? That he is the kid is his? Are you supposed to trust him? And I know I'm stuttering and tripping on my words here, but it's because it's so disgusting. Of course you're going to separate that adult from that child. There's obviously abuse going on there. And guess what? When these people come illegally, they don't bring any proof. They don't bring any documentation. They don't bring any evidence that they have actual, you know, an actual relation, that they're the actual parent of any of these children. They just come with the children. So how do you tell a predatory, abusive hyena, trafficker, human trafficker, from a parent? You can't. You can't. So of course there's going to be a policy of separation. But this actual tragedy, this actual injustice is just ignored. It's ignored. It's ignored because it is better in the propaganda in the social engineering department to make it seem like the present administration is separating kids from their parents. No, they're not. Oh my, you could see the guy's teeth. That was funny. His motto clipped in through us. Yes, Wolfgang, I say we send them all back. You can fill in the blank. You guys should know that song. I say we send them back. We close the border and we start fixing the issues down there. Start helping them so that they don't want to come here in the first place, okay? That's my solution to the immigration problem. We wouldn't be having this issue if they weren't having a good reason to flood here anyway. All right? Do I blame them? No? I don't? They are born in really shitty places. Of course they want to come to America. That doesn't mean that we have to allow them in. That doesn't mean that we have to ruin this country for their sake. It's that simple. We should be spending the amount of money we spend on illegal immigrants every year on helping the countries that they come from. Helping build those countries up so that people aren't fleeing from them en masse. These countries don't even really have legitimate governments. They're ran by cartels. Let's have an actual drug war, alright? Let's have a real drug war. One that destroys the drugs where they're coming from and the drugs here in the country. I have no sympathy for drug dealers. I have no sympathy for the drug trade in America. Anybody who deals drugs really should be executed. They are selling poison. It is repulsive. It's totally repulsive. Are there Yankees over there? I don't see any Yankees over there. We can advance with these boys. Yeah, that's another thing. People who are basically denying American citizens jobs instead so that they can hire illegal immigrants and so that they can import new workers from overseas. Those people, you know, they're scum. They're scum. Their companies should definitely... There should definitely be federal intervention or state intervention to force those companies to hire American workers and to pay those American workers a damn good wage.
As I'm scared.
Did I team kill somebody? Oops.
I just wanted to see one more thing.
Sorry. Sorry, I team killed Injection Goose. I thought you were a Yankee, Goose. You can check my live stream for proof. Yeah, well, it's a good thing legal immigration is hard in America. Of course, it needs some reforms, but just because the legal system is hard doesn't mean that you can justify coming over illegally. Anyway, lads, we're having a nice time. How long have I been live here? I've been live for an hour and 20 minutes. I've been having some good fun tonight. Any other topics we can talk about that aren't so cookie cutter? This will definitely be an unlisted stream. There's no way that this stream can't be unlisted. Oh man, this is too close for comfort. Got him? And we're dead. We've been stabbed. Stabbed in the stomach by a Yankee bayonet. And with that, the Union is victorious. We at the Richmond Enquirer are mournful in our recounting that our glorious forces in their incursion of the cursed North have been thwarted in their brave efforts. Early in the morning of the 17th, after a light bombardment and a continuation thereof in their dewy early hours, the division of General Jackson's left flank were attacked out... Oh, they cut me off. They cut me off. They cut off my narration. I wanted to read the whole damn thing, damn it. Blaine, you know I can't really answer that question on this live stream, okay? But obviously I disagree with eugenic policies, and I disagree with... Well, I've seen some articles, headlines about them killing abortionists, so I don't know what the truth is. Problem with answering that question is I don't know exactly what that regime was like, because history is so muddied up, alright? You get tons of different sources. You get sources that say Mr. Man in charge with the little toothbrush mustache was a pagan into esoteric, like, Hinduism, right? And then you get sources that say he was Mr. Christian, you know, and you get all of this other, you know, all of this baloney, basically, because since they're the bad guys, you want to apply certain things to them so that you can compare people nowadays to them to make those modern people look bad. I don't think there's any chance it won't be awful. It will be awful. Anyway, lads, I'm going to take my dog out so that he can go ahead and, you know, take a pee. This poor dog needs to piss, everybody, okay? Let this dog relieve his bladder. I'm going to South Carolina stream for just a few moments. I'm going to leave the mic on so you might actually hear me being pretty stupid.
Where's the magazine? There we go. Anyway, I'll be right back. Get myself a drink. Consider this a little break. I will be back shortly. And thank you guys for tuning in. If anybody in chat is like, oh, where'd Sobieski go? Just tell him I'm taking my dog. Alright? My dog, he needs taking care of. I'm not going to neglect the dog for the live stream's sake, okay? That'd be very uncivilized, very primitive. Alright, 1 second, lads. I gotta get myself some sweet tea. Okay? Gotta fill up on sweet tea. I wonder how distant I sound with this mic. Not much noise is coming in through the mic. Alright guys, I'm back. I have been killed. What a shame. What a rotten way to die. There's the stars and stripes right up there. Alright, see you around everybody who's heading off. Crow, you have a nice one, man. You enjoy church tomorrow. It's not very late here yet, but I know you're in Serbia, and it's late there. Over here it is 6:31 p.m. There is still plenty of time to shine. Okay, alright, good. I did put the bullet back in the magazine. Hello, Sam Squatch. I do recognize you. You've been at streams. You're a regular. By the way, if you use the bit.ly link to donate over PayPal, please tell me. I don't have a system set up to notify me or to notify the stream that I've received a donation. So if you donate, tell me. And, you know, I'll go and check. I'll verify that you've sent me some some cash. Right now, my financial situation is generally stable. But the big thing is that my dad's car broke down recently. He does not have a vehicle anymore. Temporarily, we are using my grandma's car while she's on vacation, but very soon that will no longer be available. So I am helping my dad out with buying gas, with stuff like that, basically. Picking up costs and helping him so that he can save up some money to buy a new car. So I did make a community post about that, but I don't know if it actually reached anybody, because there's not many likes on it, not many comments, not much engagement. Honestly, these streams don't really reach too many people either. I have 3,000 subscribers, but we get 13 people watching. That's fine, but I'm sure YouTube is up to something. Plus, I don't really know how to shill live streams yet. Perhaps I should learn if I'm going to do these more frequently. Oh! I got to have got one of them. We didn't make it out of there. We didn't make it out of there. What a shame. What a rotten way to die. Yes, I have other videos in the work. They're just going to take a while. You never get the notifications? Yeah, it is a shame. I should make a Discord. I'm gonna make a Discord. That's a good idea. That way I can at everyone when there's a stream or when there is a YouTube video that is released. That's a good idea. And that would definitely give me more of a reason to do this regularly and more of a reason to make videos. So yeah, I think I will open a Sobieski Discord and I'll make a community post about that. That way we can have some more active streams, we can do this more often, and generally speaking, things can be a little more successful. Where's the point of contention? It's over there. Where are our boys? We're in the forest. This is the forest map. I actually really like the forest map. Currently we're out of line. We need to get in line, so that if we die, we don't lose a ton of morale. Okay, there's the line. And I imagine the Yankees are right in front of this line, yeah, because we're firing. Can't really see shit. But that is to be expected.
Holy shit, that was close.
Reloading.
Hold your fire, hold your fire.
They're not firing back. Trees are moving. Hold the fire.
Let's just enjoy the visuals for a second. Oh, there they are!
They're moving. Shot back.
Oh shit. Yeah, we're not charging. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get shot dead here. This is not a good situation. You can see them. You can see them right through the bushes. There they are. Fire at will, he said. Let's see if we can get one. Yeah, we definitely got one. Or at least I hope we did. I hope we did. You don't get any kill count, alright? Not even after the match is over, you don't get to see how many kills you got. They don't want people worrying about kills. They want people to worry about the game and about winning, and I like that. It is really, really satisfying to get somebody, though, and, you know, have visual verification that you got them. And that guy had visual verification that he got me. I had visual verification that he shot me. Wow. Talk about getting shot. That was getting shot. And that guy was pretty good at what he was doing. He nailed me. Hit me right there, dead in center. What I might do when I make the Discord is I might go ahead and make a secondary channel for live streaming. The reason is because the more live streams I do, and the less unlisted videos I have, less unlisted live streams, the more bloated my channel is going to get with these hour to 2 to 3 hour videos. And this would give me an opportunity to have a separate channel that can get some community strikes on it, because it won't be monetized, that I can go ahead and just dump all of the live streaming there, do all of the live streaming there, and because I will have set up a Discord, I will still be able to get the same amount of viewers, if not more viewers. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that's a good idea. That way I can feel a little less guilty. I don't think we loaded this gun, did we? I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's to shoot. Yeah, we did not load this gun. I was just playing pretend. I didn't actually want to shoot the Yankees. After this skirmish, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I think we had a nice little short stream here. And I'm going to get to working on making the Discord, making more videos, less streams, but also doing more streams on a separate channel, on another channel, where I'm going to be a little more freeform with what I talk about and what I do. Because my life is not history, religion, politics, and philosophy, okay? Most of the time, I am shooting the shit about completely different things. And I'd like to be able to have a place where I can shoot the shit
We're shooting the absolute crap out of
with you guys, because that's basically what we're doing, but not for too long. And oh man, really sucks when you get shot like that. I don't think getting shot is like that. I think you get shot and then you're probably disorientated because you're either in heaven, purgatory, or hell, like that. Boom, you just snap there. Who knows how it works? Who knows how death actually works? You're definitely going somewhere after you die, but I wonder how it works. I wonder how it plays out. We'll see if we can go in there, and we'll see if we can disorientate them. We're gonna be a one-man army, one-man charge. I think I have a general idea of where the Yanks are. I think I can go in and do that. People are gonna be pissed off that I did. Ramboing is not respected in these games, but I really don't care. I do not care. We need a good send-off for the stream, because we're about to be over and done with this. How'd this guy die? Poor guy. Oh, no, he's the Yankee. He's the enemy. Oh, here we go. I got a flanking position. We got one of them. I know I got one of them. This guy's coming over. Oh, no, that's one of our boys. That's one of our boys. He had the same idea. The same exact idea as we did. To go get on their flank and harass them. I know I got one of them with that shot. That had to have hit one of them. A lot of people are in regiments in this game. That's probably why we're getting beat here. We have so many regimental types on the Yankee side. Not many on the Confederate side. Alright. Let's go through here. Yeah, we got one of them. There's no way we didn't get one of them. Hell yeah, boys. I wonder how long I can keep this up. Once I die, we'll call it a night, and I'll end the stream. Let's see, how many Yanks can I get? Look at their star and stripes. Flowing over there, flying the banner, the colors. Let's go give him hell. Do you even have to move to give him hell? I could probably shoot him from here. Now, I want to see him with my eyes, with my 2 eyes. Can I get their flag? Had to have got one of them. They've got to send somebody out to kill me, man. I'm just gonna keep doing this. To keep my eyes open. Yeah, they're shooting at me now. Fortunately, this is a pretty thick tree, so it's gonna act as decent cover. I've watched enough Paul Harrell videos to know that most trees aren't good cover. Plus, this is a video game. Alright. Let's get one of them. This is probably going to be the last one we get away with, I think. We could do this all night, folks. We could do this all night. How do we know if we got kills or not? If you shoot and he falls, you got him. Let's see, lads. Let's see if we can keep getting away with it. I'm a genius. I'm a genius of strategy, as you guys can see. This isn't clear enough of a shot. I don't really like it. Oh, they've moved up. I don't think we got a hit there. Jackknife, you made a stream? What do you mean? You have your own stream? It's pretty easy to stream. My computer can handle it, which is not surprising. I wonder if they're devoting their entire line to firing at me. That would be really good, but they're not. Probably a few guys. I don't think we got anybody. Oh, yeah. Jackknife. I'm really sorry to say this, but it will be ending shortly here. But you've made it for the tail end. We're not really discussing anything. We were talking about democracy and all of that earlier, and having some legitimate discussion. But right now, I'm just trying to see how long I can last harassing the Yankee flank. Wonder how my ancestors feel about this. But all of my Civil War ancestors got out of combat by suffering from heat stroke. So they weren't valiant fighters devoted to the cause by any means. I don't imagine most troops were. Oh shit. Oh! Wow, we missed. That was mighty embarrassing. Mighty embarrassing. Alright, everybody. So, what to take away from this stream? I'm going to summarize everything before I go ahead and shut it off. Oh, that's weird. It's over there in that... It's exiting in quite a weird way. No, I don't want to pin it to taskbar. Very interesting. Anyway. Here's what to take away from the stream. If you weren't here for the whole thing. Democracy is a circus show. It is just a set of curtains for sort of shadow rulers to hide behind. It is just a circus to mask, to obscure a deceptive hierarchy. And that's a hierarchy that is honest with you and says, yes, we're ruling over you. We're the king, we're the prince, etc., etc., is superior to a deceptive hierarchy. A hierarchy where you do not know who's actually in charge. The second thing to take away from the stream is that I will be making a Discord. Expect a community post on my YouTube channel by tomorrow with an invite link to the Discord. And with that Discord, I will be making a new YouTube channel for streaming alone. That way we can be a little more crazy. I might actually use DLive, or I might use a streaming service where I cannot get banned and I can be as crazy as I want. If that is the case, you guys will be seeing Sobieski Uncensored, which will definitely be something. We'll figure it out. But the Discord, separate streaming channel, and more actual content. Having a Discord that's active will probably motivate me to make lots of content. Thank you, Zanzilar. I hope everybody enjoyed. I think I'm getting better at this. The rambling and the ranting is always going to be part of live streaming. But I hope everybody enjoyed. Everybody have a good night. Make sure that, you take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, everybody. Go make yourself a steak. Steak isn't too expensive if you make it yourself. But have a nice weekend, everybody. And I will see you later. Keep your eyes peeled for that community post about the Discord.